And we're back. Welcome to the show about shows, episode 18. Tonight, we're going to talk about Netflix.
4th of July.
All of its
4th of
original
July.
specialness here on the 4th of July special. Stand-up, TV. Do they make movies? We'll find out. JPO, Jordan Pierce Owens, getting stuff all over him. That sounded weird. I'm here with Dutch McAllister. Dutch.
How's it going, everybody? Happy 4th of July.
And of course, the man behind the keyboard, the aviator, Dizzle.
Hey, play some bongos for us, sir. Play some bongos. Here we go.
At the Copacabana.
Hey, and they said we couldn't even bring a house band. We got a house band.
Who needs the roots? Who when you got Dizzle?
Woohoo! How would just did that work? Okay.
Hey, oh, daylight coming, I want to go home.
We got Netflix. This is all about Netflix. This show is all about Netflix because there's not much coming out in the theater.
Dude. I was doing a top 10 Amazon Prime list.
Really? You have 10 on Prime?
Yeah, it was hard to find.
No, there are about 3 shows that I do watch on Prime, but I can't really name them. I think Netflix canceled the one show that I do watch on Prime. Just recently,
Here's something I want to talk about real quick about that.
Yes.
Did you hear the Good Omens funny thing about Netflix and Amazon?
Yeah.
People were complaining about Good Omens because it's about angels and demons and stuff, and they signed a petition, got a petition going saying, "Get Good Omens off the Netflix." Well, people can't get it off Netflix because it's on Amazon Prime.
Absolutely.
You morons!
Absolutely.
If you're gonna shit talk a show, at least watch it and figure out what streaming service it's on. Yeah. Someone made a good point. It's probably some old person that says Netflix for everything. Yeah. You know what I mean? Oh, you must be on that Netflix. Like if they're on YouTube or Prime or Hulu, Netflix is everything. You know what I mean? It's like my dad
Netflix?
calls every tablet an iPad. I'm like, it's not an iPad, Dad.
Are we not on all Netflix ourselves, right? We're on Netflix, right?
Oh, I've been on Netflix since before streaming was an option.
Awesome.
I was a disc at home guy, and I remember when they first started streaming, I was on my laptop, and you'd be lucky if you found a good shitty B movie. You know, Brendan Fraser made a movie that went direct to DVD. Sweet, it's on streaming.
Encino Man 12. I didn't know it happened.
No, I would love that. But no, I remember but literally, I think it's called The Air I Breathe with him and Forrest Whitaker, a weird Jerry Baruchel comedy I never heard of. It was bare bones, my friend.
Yes,
the original days, and you couldn't get it on everything too. And when it was first on the Xbox and PlayStation, you had to send away for a disc that they would give you, and you had to put a disc in if you wanted to watch Netflix on an Xbox.
Correct.
Before that, it was just a laptop, and now it's everywhere. And thank you for pulling up an Encino Man pick, because I didn't think Encino Man was going to be brought up today, but it is, and I love Encino Man.
It always gets brought up whenever we talk about Brendan Fraser. Also, Doom Patrol. I love that show. I got to tell you, but what I loved about what Amazon did, they fell into the play too, because Netflix said, yeah, fine, we're going to cancel this Good Omen, and then Amazon says, fine, we're going to cancel Stranger Things. So I thought, to me, that was probably the greatest time you'll ever see these two companies really coexist at one time, because they do, people who want to ban something, I'm sorry, change the channel, don't even watch it. You're paying for this.
Well, it's
it's a pay subscription. I'm not forcing your money out of your wallet to take care of this. Don't watch it. Just walk
and that
away.
right there just shows the true ignorance of these people who are just railing against anything that might go against what they believe in.
And if they haven't
we
seen
were
it,
watching the Kevin Smith Dogma protest a couple weeks ago after the show.
Absolutely.
It's another great example of whenever they would ask anyone in the crowd, what are you protesting? I don't know. It's a movie where he talks about Jesus. How dare you, right? I don't know.
But speaking of Dogma, I do have my buddy Christ on my dashboard. So
That's how I knew it was your car.
Yeah.
Because you brought that car today, and I was like, is that Dutch's? And I went, oh, there's Buddy Christ. It is Dutch.
Buddy Christ, buddy. And so what we're doing on this show is we're all going to talk about our top 10 Netflix. We're going to have a lot of honorable mentions, I'm thinking, but it doesn't matter. This whole show is about Netflix. We're just loving up on Netflix today.
And today's show is brought to you by Hulu. How weird is that?
Yeah, brought to you by Hulu and CBS.
Brought to you by Shudder.
Brought to you by CBS SS. Please, it's only $5. Spend.
It's motto to bias. Please.
So,
Twilight Zone, please. Star Trek, they curse, please.
Hey, we're gonna just jump in it. I mean, we got a lot to cover, and we're not in a rush, but we got a lot to cover. So let's do some honorable mentions first before we even get to our 10. You want me to kick it off? I'll kick it off. I got a lot of honorable mentions. Lost in Space is an honorable mention. Everything Sucks. It's been canceled. Do watch it, though. It's something that I enjoy. Ozark. Love it. The Rain. It's actually a foreign film, a foreign series about rain that is poisonous and it kills you. It's like The Walking Dead, but with rain. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I thoroughly enjoy that. These are all going to be clumped together as well because they've all been canceled. Luke Cage, Daredevil, and Jessica Jones. Top shows. They've all hit their stride in the season.
Not Iron Fist?
No. But they all hit their stride on their last season. Iron Fist actually got a little better as the last season went on. So I think they all found their footing and it just started hitting you in the mouth. And then all of a sudden they're gone because of contractual things they didn't like. Castlevania is an anime that they had that was good. The end of the effing world is also one of my top picks. So those are just some that I gotta say are that did not make the top 10, and that's a lot of stuff.
I didn't know you were gonna cheat that way because I always only do 5 honorable mentions. You just named like 10.
I couldn't help it. There's so many things I like.
Well, I would have done more too if I knew we were allowed. Thanks for letting me know.
Well,
but
you usually
my
do
honorable mentions include Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Ozark is on my honorable as well. 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah.
The Dave Chappelle specials from the last couple of years.
Yeah.
All his specials. Stranger Things is on my honorable mentions. Yeah, I said it. Don't give me that look, Dutch. And then just off the top of my head, ones that I don't have on my honorable, but are honorable. Triple Frontier with my boy Ben Affleck.
Frontier is good too with Jason Momoa. I have
that's not an Netflix original.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think it is.
It is. Look at it.
All right. Okay. I could be wrong. But yeah, Triple Frontier is really good. Always Be My Maybe from recently was pretty good. Yes, those are my honorable mentions.
So now we're at number 10.
Number 10.
Number 10. This is an actual stand-up. John Mulaney, Kid Gorgeous at Radio City. I got to tell you, the funniest stand-up. I love John Mulaney. I got turned on to him a lot later in the crowd. So, but when I started watching, I gorged everything that was John Mulaney. I feasted on everything that he put out. But this is probably my favorite stand-up show because you had the Stranger Danger thing that he did. He also, my favorite, he talked politics, but he didn't want to talk politics, so he used the acronym horse in a hospital. Talking about, well, there's a horse in the hospital. Don't know how he got there, but he's there, and it's like, then all of a sudden you don't hear anything from the horse for a couple days. And all of a sudden you're in surgery in the hospital and you're just doing it. All of a sudden you hear, and it's just a great thing. And it's just a great stand up. Well, I enjoy it immensely.
Dutch, we didn't plan this. My number 10 is John Mulaney.
No.
I wrote down, though, the Comeback Kid, though.
I was thinking that.
Here's the thing. I was thought about
bunch
that.
of them together.
I thought about new in town because I love that last bit. I'm new in town.
Yeah.
Why that order? Yeah. Hold on. Let's see. I got HIV. Sorry.
Yeah.
So new in town, and then I also too thought about bunching them like I did with the Chappelle specials. But I don't know. I wrote back Comeback Kid. I think that's the tightest of his sets, me personally.
Yeah.
I like Kid Gorgeous as well. It was one that probably the first one that I watched probably the quickest when it came out because I was already hyped from the other two.
Yes, that's
so. Yeah, obviously I'll agree with you. I think John Mulaney is maybe the best stand-up
He's
of
the
the
best
last few
today.
years. He's not new, but yeah, he's just fantastic.
To me, he's probably one of the best stand-ups as of today. He's
definitely unarguably one of, for sure.
SNL. He shows up on SNL. You really love him. And
he was a writer for several years behind the scenes.
And it's just he has just got everything. Even his
Spider Pig.
Spider Ham. Yeah, Spider Ham. Spider Pig is from Simpsons. But yeah, John Mulaney, when he did the guest spot on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, it was still funny.
You talk about guest spots. He owns the Crashing with Pete Holmes. He does a guest spot as just a crazy asshole version of John Mulaney.
Yeah.
Fantastic. It's one of the last episodes I feel of the season. Episode like the second to last.
I'm gonna have to watch that one episode then because that's just.
And I think you kind of can because that's what's great about that show is it's a great just thing of Pete Holmes thinking he has a spot and actually was it John Mulaney. He actually requested a different Pete, so there's a great awkwardness and he's fantastic. And definitely check out that episode.
Yeah. So again, you and I are right on the same wavelength, which is scary for our first one out the box. There's so many things on Netflix, and yet we go down to John Mulaney at number 10. I guess I'm at number 9. Number 9. It was up higher. It kind of sunk low for me as time went on. Glow.
Me too. No.
Glow,
you go.
The Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling is based on the actual that acronym GLOW, and it's about the trials and tribulations of women in professional wrestling because they never really got a good venue for it. But this guy wanted this type of show, and he got it. And it turned out I used to watch this on ESPN as a kid. They used to show the old shows of Glow, and the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. Enjoy it. The characters are always based on real life, and I'm not good with names. I'm going to let you go over those. If you're going to talk about it later, we'll just hold off and put a pin in it. But it's number 9 for me.
Maybe we'll talk about it later. I do love the show, so yeah, there's a good chance that it will absolutely come up later.
Okay, so what do you got for number 9?
My number 9 is, again, we're not that far off. This is the third time now we've agreed. Actually, no, probably not the third time, but more. This is one of your honorables. I'm putting it on my top 10 though. End of the fucking world. End of the effing world. I thought this thing was so unique. Just one of my favorite things that I think a good TV show does. It has it where every episode ends and you go, I don't care if it's 4 a.m. I don't care if I'm late to pick up my daughter. I want to see the next episode now. Tell about these 2 kids. They both have their quirks, to say the least, and to put it nicely. And at first, the first episode, I almost felt like I wasn't going to like it because I was like, oh, this is kind of effed up and this kid's effed up in the head. Yeah. But man, I just love this show. I know we've actually brought this up once before, and I know season 2 is supposedly coming. Yeah. Well, come quicker, because I want to see where these 2 left off at. A journey of these 2 kids, literally on a journey as they try to get from point A to point B, and it's a fantastic show. I love it. Where are they from in this show? They
are from somewhere in England.
All right.
they're in England. That's all we got. But, the characterizations, Alex Lothar plays James, and Jessica Barden plays Alyssa. Again, this is on my list. I got to tell you, they have great chemistry. The show alone is kooky as hell, as you said. I agree wholeheartedly that the lady who's chasing them, DC, the DC girl, that's just what they call her, detective constable, I think. But she's I guess I'm gonna look it up here real quick. Wunmi Musaka is the lead detective in this. She is just great. I mean, the whole cast. You can't get a better cast. But that kid is dark. I mean, literally, he wants to kill her. He really wants to kill this girl, but then he falls in love, but yet at the same time doesn't, there's no loyalty with a psychopath at the end of the day. But yes, well worth to watch.
There's more to it than that. He's a psychopath that's growing up, though.
Well, he is a sociopath, basically, a psychopath, and that's it. But he is not really. He's developed this over time, yes, but I just find it's just crazy. It's a crazy, great show. Watch it. I agree. My number 8 just came out this year. It's called The Umbrella Academy. Ellen Page is in it, and it's like the X-Men, but it's a little darker. It's a little darker X-Men. And we're all trying to figure out, in each episode, it grows and expands why the characters are the way they are. It's Tom Harper is in it. The monkey, I can't remember who plays the monkey. They have a digital monkey in it. And but he's unbelievable. His voice talented. Adam Goodley plays Pogo. Adam Goodley plays Pogo, and you might know him in the movie. I think it was God. What was the name of the movie he was in? But anyway, I'm gonna go from there. But yeah, Ellen Page is in it. He was also one of the fathers, I believe, in Willy Wonka the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp. I believe. So that's what I was trying to think where he was at. But yeah, it basically there's a Netflix disbanded group of superheroes reunite with their adopted father who trained them to save the world, and he dies. And they got to figure out who killed their father. And everyone blames everybody. And so it's well worth watching.
What's some of your favorite Ellen Page movies?
Juno, baby.
Juno would be...
Which almost made my rom-com list.
Which wasn't, but, it was kind of a dry rom-com. Inception, we can go with that one. Hard Candy was good.
Hard Candy, X-Men Days of Future Past.
Yeah, I'm trying to, I'm just pulling up her stuff. But, yeah, there's so many things. But she kind of picks and chooses where she goes anymore, to me, anyway. But
it's also really good. What's that movie that came out a couple years ago?
Flatliners?
Oh God, no.
No,
her and Julianne Moore. It's all about her trying to get her lesbian partner benefits.
Yeah, I gotta find
Steve Carell, Michael Shannon. Freeform? No.
I'm trying to find out.
Freeheld.
Is it Freeheld? I have no clue. Oh yeah, Freeheld. Yes.
Yeah. She's good in that. It's actually a decent under talked about movie actually.
Yeah, that's a very, very good movie. And it goes to show you, how things have come along with those type of rights.
Talking number 8?
That was number 8. Yes, number 8. What do you got?
All right, number 8, I'm going with Wet Hot American Summer, the TV show, of course. It's based on a movie that came out years and years before the TV show.
Paul Rudd.
So they decided to, here's what we could do. We could do a follow-up, or let's do a prequel and recast everyone from 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd, Amy Poehler, Michael Ian Black, Bradley Cooper pops back in for the first season, not the second season. They recast him.
Janine Garofalo pops back in.
Everyone. Janine Garofalo, a very small 1 or 2 episodes from David Hyde Pierce.
Yes.
And they recast Bradley Cooper with, I think, Adam Scott in season 2.
Yeah.
Because season 2 is finally the follow-up now of where these characters are. And this show is insane. I definitely think season 1's better than season 2. Season 2 for me goes a little bit off the rails where it's like, okay, wow, you really are not giving any F's and just doing whatever comes to mind. But season 1, I think, is just so funny.
Yeah, season 1
Christopher Maloney also is back. He's fantastic in this.
Yeah.
And some great guest stars. Jordan Peele, Jason Schwartzman, Chris Pine.
Yeah. What's funny is whenever they said that Bradley Cooper was going to be in the, in the first season, be back, and I was like, really? How did that happen? You know what I'm saying? So it goes to show you, no matter what kind of a star he is, he's down for most anything.
You know what's funny though is there's a couple episodes where they'll very much play to the camera. He goes, "Hey guys, I'm just gonna put this mask on so that way he didn't have to be there for certain days of filming."
Yeah.
So there's a whole end sequence where there's just some guy in a mask.
So.
And but yeah, I just think that for that first season, as you said, Paul Rudd, of course, Elizabeth Banks too.
Yeah.
I love this show.
The original movie
so
was
quirky.
Good.
Original movie's good, and it was one that I started a long time ago, didn't like, and then finally caught up. Not too long, I think, before the TV show came out. Actually, I think it was finally one of those like, oh yeah, I've never really seen this from beginning to end. Because funny enough, when it came out, I remember thinking, I don't know anyone in this cast except for the Frasier guy. And now when you look back on it, you go, oh, everyone and their mom was in this cast. Kristen Wiig is also a guest star in this. Josh Charles. It's a huge, crazy cast.
It's a who's who of Hollywood.
It is a not so crazy cast.
And you know what? If I'm surprised that
the guy from Bob's Burgers plays a tin can that speaks. It's great.
I look at it this way: it's like Netflix. I thank God they have a bottomless trove of money. It seems because
it's also these guys. I think it's a lot of the guys from
and a lot of these guys want to
the
do this
state.
again. Yeah,
You know?
a lot of these guys want to do these type of movies again because it gets them back to where they became popular or just enjoyed it the most in their life. And that's why I think you see things like Bill Murray where he's going to be coming
Pull
back.
that up, Dizzle.
Yeah, there's a cast of who's who right there, brother. I love that cast. Look at them. Just look
All
at.
right on the. I think it's gonna be left of your screen.
Yeah, David Hyde Pierce is up in there, top right, I think, near the top right of the screen. Yeah, it's just a great cast. How you can get them all in one spot,
I think like some of the seasons of Arrested Development, I think it just had to be. That's why there's only a couple of them in most scenes,
Yeah.
because you had to probably had it probably was a scheduled nightmare.
Yeah, and you know what? Like I said, though, I just like the idea that they do pine or they do jump into the nostalgia, bit. They do that a lot at Netflix, and they kind of go after the nostalgia bug. And it's almost like we've talked about this in the past. The pop toys, they go after everyone's a fan of something, and if you're gonna like it, I'm gonna like it, and so that's how that goes. So.
Screw you for not picking up those Blink-182 pops, whatever.
So, anyway, what happened?
I wanted you to buy me those Blink-182 pops. I would have paid you back.
Sorry, I apologize. There's a few of them. There's a ton of them out there. We'll find them. We'll find them all. You got to catch them all like Pokemon. Gotta catch them all. Anyway,
What's your number 8?
my number. We
7?
already did number 8. We're at number 7, my
Sorry.
friend. Number 7. Are you on the same show? Number 7. Anyway,
I'm human. If you prick me, do I not bleed? If you tickle me, do I not laugh?
No, not really, because I've tickled you so many times. Anyway, Sex Education is my number 7. This has Asa. Is it Asa Butler? Right? I always mess it up. Asa Butler. Gillian Anderson, Nakuda Gatwa.
Anderson.
I did say Gillian Anderson. What?
Anderson.
Anderson. Like in the Matrix, Mr. Anderson.
Now you sound more like the wrestler.
Emma McKay, Connor Swindles, and this is basically about a kid, James 17. He's pretty sure he's wrong one. Whoa, I was giving you the wrong. I was giving you the F up or the end of the world. A teenage boy has a sex therapist who is Asa Butler. Whose mom is a sex therapist, teams up with his high school classmate who happens to be gay to set up an underground sex therapy clinic at school. And it's just an unbelievable, it's a great show. I mean, well acted, well written, and it toes the line between it could jump any moment, but it doesn't. It brings it back. You think it's going to go farcical, it just brings it all back until the very last episode. Kind of goes off the rails a little bit, but I can't wait for season 2, which is in the hopper, ready to play. So, but yeah, I enjoy the hell out of it. I'm not sure where it ranks in your world, but I got to tell you, it came out January, I believe, of this year, I think, or maybe 2007. I don't really know. I'm awful. It's 17.
I believe it is this year. I think.
Oh, if it was January of this year. So I was researching that a little bit, but yeah. So and they've already promised us a sequel. So a season 2 is in the hopper. I can't wait. Go for it.
It's just an honorable mention for me though. But yeah, it's a very tight show. No pun intended. Good show.
Yeah, and it's a good romantic comedy.
I said to you before, I was actually wrong. My number 7 is, I believe, my one and only movie on the list. I do have a movie on here. It's a movie I very much loved called I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore.
Yes.
Elijah Wood, Melanie Linsky, who I most remember from being the crazy lover of Charlie Sheen, the one that's even in the end puts him in a bunker, which I always predicted, by the way. I always said it's going to come back where we find out he's been in her bunker this whole time, and I was very much right.
A little risque, been in her bunker.
Yeah, and then they kill him. It's horrible ender to that show. Anywho, this movie though,
Spoiler alert.
I almost feel like it is it's like it's got the same tone of the end of the effing world, where it's just these two unique characters who are just kind of fed up with stuff. Elijah Wood's her neighbor with an awesome rat tail, go on this quick journey. Melanie Linsky's been wronged, and yeah, it's a great R-rated movie that I think more people should see and talk about. about. I really like it. Highly recommended.
It is still on my watch list. I like I said, there's so many things to watch. I've just basically barely scraped, what's out there on Netflix because they don't tell us when things are dropping. They drop so many things each month. That's one thing I get frustrated with about this network is that if they want to be taken serious, they got to tell me when shit's coming out so I can watch it, or at least try. Because did you know now the to make sure a show makes it or not, they show how many times some people will watch it in the first 4 weeks. I don't find something on Netflix in the first 4 weeks. I find it about 6 months later sometimes buried, 8 weeks later because I'm watching other stuff on their shows. So they can't just keep doing that to me by canceling shows. Number 6, though, I can't even read number 6. I was like, I can't even read my own notes, and I usually type them up, but I wrote it out this time. The one that I love, it actually it got canceled, but I still want to put it up there. It's called Travelers. And it's a sci-fi show with Eric McCormack.
Will and Grace?
Eric McCormack is 100 years from now, surviving humans discover how to send their consciousness back through time into people in the 21st century while changing the path of the way humanity goes. So it's a great sci-fi type feel. Eric McCormack, Mackenzie Porter, Nesta Cooper, just to name a few who are in it. I got to tell you, Riley Dolan, he plays an old man in a young kid's body, and it's just a good sci-fi. What's going to happen next show? And then you got to figure, okay, wait a minute. After the first season, it threw me for a loop. Second season, threw me for another loop. Third season, I just started it. But it's so addictive. And unfortunately, they decided to cancel it after this time. But again, it's a Netflix original. Very well worth watching. Eric McCormack, his best performance I've ever seen in a show. And I didn't, Will and Grace was good, but this show's chops. So, did you ever see that, or have you watched it? Or?
No, I was actually going to say it's cool to hear that because it's one of those shows, like you said, there's just so much out there that I feel like I'm not against for any reason. I just never really heard much about it, good or bad. And then, like you said, now it's been canceled, so it's one of those things that I don't know if I ever would have gone back to. But now that you said that, if it ever pops up on my feed, there's a good chance I will check it out now if you recommend it that much.
Yeah, and I'll be honest because I've had friends who finished the third season already, and they said it's a good stopping point. So it's not like it's gonna make you cut your wrists saying I can't believe this is how it happens. But and of course I've stayed away from as many spoilers as possible because I knew I couldn't get it right away. But there it is. There's the icon.
Screwing with me.
What's he doing over there?
Every time I put my glasses down, he puts it, and then I go put it down and look at it, and he puts it back. So
look at you.
The editor's messing with my mind.
But yeah, so that is my number 6 on the list.
My number 6 is something that I say about you all the time. That's why people want to pick fights with you.
You're so sexy. I don't know.
You
if that's
got a big mouth. Big Mouth, the animated show from Nick Kroll, and hey, John Mulaney is on my list again.
There you go.
I didn't even think about that. It's basically about kids going through puberty, and it's an animated show. And again, another one that when I first watched the first couple episodes of season 1, I went, "Oh, this is going to be kind of one note and just go for the lowest common denominator." And every once in a while, it does go for very risque jokes, but it is so well written.
What's it called?
Big Mouth.
Big
Mouth. Definitely worth checking out on Netflix, obviously, because it's in my top 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think this thing is so funny. We've currently got 2 seasons and a special popped up
Valentine's
randomly
Day special.
during Valentine's Day, which is kind of cool too, just to see again a super random thing of there's another episode out already. Sweet, because you didn't see that coming. And I'm sure we'll have a season 3. I would imagine we have to. And
it's been renewed. So
Jason Mantzoukas as one of the characters on the far right there. As I said, John Mulaney is the second character. The third character played by Nick Kroll, who I believe helped create it. Jordan Peele plays a ghost.
He plays
it's a great show.
By the way, I've been kind of silent over here because I'm going to jump into it right now. Number 5, Big Mouth.
What?
Yeah, just beats it out. But you know what though? I love Jordan Peele, who plays the ghost of Duke Ellington. It is the greatest ghost. It's the creepiest ghost if you ever seen in your life. But it's just great.
Well, my boy.
Yeah, well, my boy, it's all right if you put your fingers where you need to put your finger, whatever he's done. But it's just hilarious how he makes it happen. You say Jason Mantzoukas plays Jay, who likes to have sex with pillows.
Gets one pregnant.
Yes, and then he has a little couch pillow, and then he abandons them all. But we don't know where that character is going at this point. It's kind of an interesting way of telling it. I love Maya Rudolph's hormone monster. I love her. She's the worst that you could be around.
Hormone monsters, and then what is it? What's the guy?
Oh God, I think isn't it Will Arnett? It sounds like Will Arnett, but I don't know if that's true or not. Who plays the hormone monster? Who plays the hormone monster for him?
I think it's Kroll. It's Kroll again.
Nick Kroll, yeah, okay.
Yeah, Nick Kroll voices a couple characters.
But I do love.
Who's the puberty wizard or whatever that's in the end, or the shy wizard, or
I can't remember.
The guilty, right?
But I love the one with the broken horn, hormone monster. Yes, talk about I love that's how that goes in there. Really? You mean if I put my dick in an electrical outlet, it's gonna give me super sperm? Yes, that's what it'll do. That type of awful type deals that you get from that guy. But yeah, I enjoy the shit out of this. That's why it's at number 5. Like you said, John Mulaney plays Andrew.
Shame Wizard. I love the Shame Wizard.
Yes. But yes, you gotta watch it if you haven't seen this show. He's at number 6. I'm at number 5. But we are both correct on putting this in our top 10 because it is that funny. It'll make you laugh, and it'll bring you back to when you were a kid. And if you had these hormone monsters, we probably all like the same way, to be honest with you.
There's the Shame Wizard.
Yeah, the Shame Wizard, yes.
So, Dizzle, my friend, do you have a number 5? We're at the 5 point now.
I will do Bloodline.
Okay, Bloodline.
There you go. Bloodline.
Kyle
Rosie
Chandler
got me into it.
Yes, that's
Good. I enjoyed it.
You don't have to
Florida.
rub it in how you have a girlfriend every episode,
But
I got someone that loves me for who I am.
That's all.
Bullshit.
She brings the TV. You know what I mean? You guys do too now.
No, I don't know what you mean.
No. She's got some great taste in television. We'll give her that.
And then now,
She's our Downton Abbey fan.
yeah,
So
these guys in Downton Abbey.
which is a PBS. So we're going to do a top 5 PBS shows later on. No, we're not. Even though we should do PBS. Ooh, PBS, public broadcasting. Ooh, how sexy.
Well, I don't even have a top 1.
What does the Shame Wizard do just real fast? What's his
Oh, he just brings shame.
Yeah, he shames you for how you feel as a child, and
Yeah, it's like he goes, "Oh,
you're sick for thinking about your best friend's sister that way."
yeah." It makes you feel real bad. Then you get all shamed out. It's like it's all the bad. Yeah, it's your bad. It's the worst part of your conscience. The one
You're
that
a sick little boy.
it's like, how dare you covet that cat? And you're like, but I love the cat. And I'm just gone off on a bestiality tour.
My number 5 is another very fun.
But we're not. Are we just going to gloss over Bloodline? Kyle Chandler, Ben Mendelsohn, Sissy Spacek, for Christ's sake.
Oh yeah.
Yes, a family finds themselves forced to face their past and secrets, and it is a Ben Mendelsohn. My God, what a character he plays! He won an Emmy for it. He deserves more. To me, this has put Ben Mendelsohn for me on the map as an actor. Kyle Chandler, I knew how he was going to be, but I was glad to see Sissy Spacek rekindle the career that she deserves. And but yeah, Ben Mendelsohn. Unbelievable. I loathed him too in this, but it was just a great ensemble, and it's well worth watching. So, but yes, okay. Now that we've done this, go to number 5 on your list, my friend.
Number 5, another really funny show that takes a tremendous spin on a genre is American Vandal. I've talked about it before. 2 seasons, unfortunately. It's another one that Netflix, for whatever reason, big outcry, has canceled. It's a faux documentary about silly crimes that happen in high school, but it is done in a tremendously serious and awesome way. The first season is all about who drew the dicks on the cars, on the teachers' cars.
Yeah, I love
And
it.
the second season is all about the turd burglar. And on paper, that sounds tremendously dumb. And I remember not even wanting to necessarily see season 1. And again, just being one of those like, all right, I'm leaving the house in a little bit. I don't have time for a movie. All right, this thing, because I'm going to have to pay attention to it. And then binging through season 1. And actually not too long before season 2 came out. That's how long I had just kind of been whatever with this series. Season 1, the main suspect is played by Jimmy Chatro, who is currently one of the boyfriends on Modern Family. I just saw a movie poster the other day where he's casted in it. He's been able to branch out. And season 2 is just as good. It's one of the weird things where if I have to find a silver lining in it being canceled, is that you can't say there's a bad episode or season because these are 2 really tight seasons. And I do wonder if he had gone more, if there's the dicks on the cars. Balls. Well, and then they it's just so awesome how they take it so seriously. They're like, hold on, wait a minute. Billy couldn't have done it because he was at the detention on the other side of the school. There's no way he could have drawn maybe 12 dicks, let alone 20 dicks. You know, like it's just so awesome.
I think it was probably killed too early. But it could have probably run for 3 seasons. Possibly.
I think easily 3. Yeah, I'm just saying, trying to find a silver lining.
Off,
that like I think this is an idea that maybe could have gotten stale. But we never even got near that. You know
what's funny is
and season 2 I think really does a great examination too, in almost a serious way of just high school life and cliques and trying to fulfill your what other people put upon you.
I'll tell you what's crazy about. We're gonna go to the Emmys for 2 seconds here. They wanted to put this in the second season because it was a funny season as well. But they because it didn't. They said because it shouldn't count as a second season because it doesn't break any new ground. So that's the Emmy world for you because
that's weird. I would say to an extent it does. Though. I really like. There's a basketball player, and his tale, and he's got some great stuff towards the end there.
Yeah, but okay, so we're at what number 4 on the list now? Number 4. Wow, we've gone through. So let's just recap for a second, if you want. Let's do our we've already done our top 5. Bottom 5. So let's go over that really quick. I had John Mulaney, Kid Gorgeous at number 10. I had Glow at number 9. The Umbrella Academy at number 8. Number 7, Sex Education. Number 6, Travelers. And number 5 was Big Mouth. And you had...
For me, I went a totally different direction with John Mulaney. John Mulaney, The Comeback Kid. Number 9, End of the Effing World. Number 8, Wet Hot American Summer, the TV show. 7, I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore. 6, Big Mouth. Number 5, American Vandal. What you got number 4, Dutch?
And don't forget, Ryan had Bloodline at his number 5. My number 4, I'm going anime. It's aggressive. I'm so bad with the name of it, but it's called Agretsuko. It's basically she's a young corporate worker. She's a red panda. She's basically deals with everyday stress from the office by singing heavy death metal at a karaoke club. Basically, a socially awkward accountant deals with her annoying coworkers by chugging beer and singing death metal. It is a subtitled deal anime. It is.
I've seen this poster.
And by the way, can I just say, it starts just like my day every day. She's in bed. I'll give you this as a first episode. She's in bed and she's like, no. And she hits the alarm and she hits it again. She goes, okay, just give me 10 more seconds. I'll be a better person for society. Just give me 10 more seconds. And she goes, and she tries to get that extra moment of sleep before she has to go to work. And she's going 10, 9. And she does the whole countdown. Then she gets out of bed and then she goes to work. And she has a pig for a boss who is just as asinine. And it just captures the working environment perfectly in the world of animals, we'll say. It's very well worth watching. It's subtitled. You could probably get an English version. You don't have to have it dubbed. You can have it dubbed if you want to, I think. I just don't. I prefer not to have him dubbed. I like to read. I think I get more from it. So, but yeah, that is my number 4, Aggressiato. can't say much more about it. It's good. It's You just watch it. That's all I'm saying. If you haven't seen it, watch it once.
Is this the boss?
Yeah, that's him right there. He is such a oof.
So is it a comedy?
It's a comedy. He basically says, it's okay to have a woman. He was like, go get me some tea, and the tea was too cold or something, and he's like, no, it's all right. It's okay to see women in being not too bright to be able to do something that easy or something like that. So he's a very chauvinistic pig, i.e. So it's very like I said, just take a gander at it. You'll love it. It's just funny if you really. It captures corporate America. Disley, you got a fourth?
4. I'm gonna do a Dave Chappelle stand up.
Yeah. The all three or just the? I think it was a 3 in that one.
All 3.
I think all 3. Yeah, they're all
I'll
good.
keep it simple.
They're all good.
I saw one of them live at Barbara B. Mann. A lot of it's inside of it,
Oh
inside of that.
yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I like him. I liked seeing him again. I didn't like him locking up my cell phone, but
Well, he has every right to do that, and I wish more places would do that. I think if you go to a theater, they should do that nowadays as well.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get a popcorn and a soda thrown on you if they.
Well, no, they got to stop selling booze. They got to stop selling.
Oh yeah, that's booze. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Good memory from last week, my friend. Very good memory. So, what we got next? We got a 4 coming in there, Big J.
My number 4, L, is for the way you look at me. Love the Judd Apatow series on Netflix. I believe 3 seasons. It's a tale of a nerd falling in love with a girl, and she's still figuring out some of her own shit. And that's what we all do in life, man. And I thought this thing was so beautiful. Another one that really ramps up from just being good in season 1 and just being great storytelling in season 2 and 3. I love these two together. Jillian Jacobs, who I absolutely love from Community and many things. And for some reason I always forget his name. Paul, my buddy Paul. And I really enjoy this show, man. I highly recommend it.
What's the name
You'll
of it?
fall in love with love. It's called Love, baby.
That's what it's
Love.
Man, I pull it up. And
Rust.
Paul Rust.
I said my buddy Paul Rust. My buddy Paul Rust.
Now you've told me to watch this. I've not got a
and
chance.
you never have.
As a sensitive man of my
Yes.
nature, as you know,
I
I
think you'd
love.
like it.
You think I'd like it? Okay,
I love it.
You know what? I'm gonna write this down because I will probably forget about it later. But I will watch it. I'm gonna write it down. Right
David
now.
Spade's in it. You love David Spade.
I love David Spade. Anything with David Spade, I'll watch. Except for that. What was it? Well, I did watch it. So,
You know who's really good in it is one of Apatow's kids in it too.
Oh yes,
Maud, maybe.
Yeah, I can't remember her name, but yeah, I know who she is though. I know her when I see her in a film. But yeah, so we are now at number 3. My third. I took this with a grain of salt when I first watched it, and I was like, oh, maybe it's not going to be. I'm just going to go with the idea that it's good, and it turned out. It turned out unbelievably better than I was giving it credit for right away. It's called Altered Carbon. It is, and the great thing about this TV series, Altered Carbon, is that it can be done. I think it's over like 5 books anyway, but you can. It's going to be great because they just take away each beginning of the star because you're in a skin suit. Basically, your body is now a skin suit, and it's a future where basically your consciousness, again, the consciousness is going to be the key in the future. I guess we all need to know about this, but it's digitized and stored, and they return a prisoner back to life, and he must solve a mind-bending murder to win his freedom in the first season. Anthony Mackie is going to be in the second season. He's going to play the same dude who's basically we leave off with, You've seen this guy. What's his name? I gotta find it really quick. I apologize. Who?
Joel Kinnaman.
Yeah, was that him? Yeah. So he is. It's just an unbelievable show, and is worth your investment. It's a very well worthwhile show. It's a great sci-fi. Again, I love sci-fi, and if you need a good place to watch sci-fi, Netflix has actually come alive to for that. I know Prime is starting to try to do some of things. They bought a show off of the Sci-Fi Channel just so they could have it. But yes, watch it. Altered Carbon, second season's coming forth pretty soon. If it hasn't already hit, I don't know, to be honest with you, because Netflix don't tell me anything. But yes, watch it. Altered Carbon. Again, it's well worth the watch. It is a well-diverse cast, greatly diverse, and it's just I just love seeing things like that on TV. It just makes me happy. So, what is your number 3 there, Mr. Dizzle?
House of Cards.
Oh, House of Cards. Kevin Spacey, Robin Penn.
Kevin, name redacted.
Yeah. Asterisk.
He's dead.
I didn't actually watch. What season did they get up to?
I think they just did the final season. I think it was 5 or 6 or something like that.
I didn't get up to there, but those first couple I really enjoyed.
Well, no, I mean, it doesn't. As long as you want to continue the ride, that's going to be perfect. I mean, it's. I've never gotten into it. I personally, I tried to get into it. I just couldn't get into it. I'm a big Kevin Spacey fan, and yes, I know that's not politically correct to say.
Kevin who?
Yeah, that was my first show that I fell in love with on Netflix.
Yeah, I think it was one of their first good ones. I mean, but I just couldn't get into it. I'm just.
I have a pet peeve with it because I go gambling every once in a while, and the House of Cards slot machines always F me up. I've never won jack squat on that. But Lord of the Rings, I won $1,000. I'm just saying. Thank you, Frodo.
Good job. You know what? Us nerds, we got to stick together with our own nerddom. So that's what's going to pay us back.
Big Bang Theory, you got some money off that.
There you go. See, if you watch
I should have cashed out earlier, though. I kept going.
you just didn't listen, did you? Sheldon would have been there. You would have had
Sheldon
your money in your pocket.
Bazinga.
Yeah. So you're at number 3, Mr. J.
My number 3, and you've talked about it already.
What?
And you should know it's going to be on my list because I love me some pro wrestling, and that's Glow. Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling is my number 3. I believe it's the first 2 seasons are in my top 3, if not 2, if not number 1 shows of the year when I do my TV show list of the year, The Lightning Strike. Allison Brie and the tremendous Betty Gilpin, who I think stood out in season 2. 2 leading ladies here. They have a past, and unfortunately, I have to really kind of put that aside here in order to try to make this thing successful. Betty Gilpin's kind of a struggling actress. Allison Brie is a really struggling actress and human being in general. And then, of course, Mark Maron is fantastic in this as well, the stand-up comedian. And I'm excited for this to return in season 3. You got real-life wrestler Awesome Kong is also a really fun standout, and a great group of ladies acting here because there's a whole roster of female wrestlers who, sometimes some get lost in the shuffle, because you can only have so much in each episode here. But each one of them needs to get some time to shine throughout the season. And yeah, I think it's a really well-written show. Laughs, tears, emotions. I'm glad that it's been given a chance to go because as a wrestling fan, there's not a lot of great wrestling movies and TV shows. I said before with Fighting With My Family, you literally have that. You have The Wrestler, which is very dark, and this is kind of a nice in-between. There's some dark moments here as well, but it's not as dark as The Wrestler. It's not as light as fluffy as Fighting With My Family. But it's a well worthy of a TV show wrestling fan or not.
You know who I enjoy watching in that show? I believe her, Brittany Young. I believe is her name. She plays the Samoan.
Her brothers and Carlito.
Yeah, and I just like to watch her act. I mean, she's a ray of sunshine in an otherwise dark sometimes plot, here and there. Yeah, because she's so innocent. But yeah, I do like her character. I like all their characters pretty much. Like Sheila the She-Wolf. I enjoy her. Cameron Wade is who I was talking about. But yeah, Allison Brie and Betty Gilpin are the main stars of that, along with is it Mark Maron? You said? Yeah,
Mark Maron is he's a former horror director who kind of reluctantly gets his job, and then slowly his begrudgingness starts to fade a little bit throughout time.
Yeah, and I do like his shows. I do like his character a lot as well, and like I said, I the second season was good. I haven't gotten into the third really, so I guess I gotta bone up on it. Maybe I'll get into it again. Now that brings us to the number 2. We're almost done with this list, which is amazing because we've put out some great shows to watch so far. My second one, you turned me on to this one. And I don't know where it's on yours, but Afterlife with Ricky Gervais. I don't think I've seen an episode yet I didn't tear up in. I mean, literally, to me, Ricky Gervais puts his character, even though he puts on a big front, he's very wounded, of course. His wife dies of cancer, and he's just basically doesn't care. And it just is so resonant in his, the way he acts in this. And it's funny. It's a dark comedy. But to me, he just pulls it off. And you're not used to seeing that much of Ricky Gervais in that type of look and feel, that grittiness that he has. But it's well worth the watch. I cried, I think, first episode. Second episode, I kind of cried. Third episode, I cried. Fourth episode, I was like, God bless America. Because they show all those clips of his deceased wife now. And it brings back the human side that you forget that Ricky Gervais's character has. So he should win something for this. This should be his Emmy.
Yeah.
I
would imagine. Yeah, probably now's the time for that nomination. Yeah. I love the show too. This is probably like my number 16. And I could argue it being way higher than that. I love the show. Like you said, each episode kind of really gets you. The more you find out about this character, who he says his superpower, he doesn't give an F anymore.
Yeah.
That's his little superpower, and he goes around whether you deserve it or not, and he tells you what he thinks. And the way this thing ends too, I think it ends greatly as well, and just give it to Ricky Gervais. I think he tries. He's really good at balancing these two kind of categories together. He did a little bit in Invention of Lying, but I thought this was even funnier and sadder than that, and he balances it pretty damn well.
And if you look at it, he kind of uses the same not the characters, but some of the same actors, like in Extras, and I think Derek next.
Yeah, like the main girl from Extras is also in this as the home nurse who that he kind of gets a little bit of a crush on, maybe.
I feel bad too in that same scene where he's talking to his dad, and he has Alzheimer's and he's not there, and I think those are short scenes, but they're also kind of like
little mini gut punches, for sure.
And you feel it, and you're just like, this whole thing, even that dude who plays his dad should get something. You know what I'm saying? I know he's not in it enough.
I don't know about that,
but he plays a great.
He nails it. Yeah,
he just nails it.
It is pretty perfect casting.
There's the cast right there. But yeah, it's well worth the watch. If you haven't had a chance to watch Afterlife, do so, please.
And that's my number 2 also. So
is that convenient? Yeah. Okay. Number 2. So what do you got there, Mr. J?
My number 2, we're going back to stand-up comedy real quick. And again, you can go for a couple specials here, but it's Bo Burnham, Make Happy. Really? I love Bo Burnham so much. He recently directed the really good 8th grade movie, and this is his stand-up specials. And there's What? That's the name of it, What? And these things are so unique. He does some songs, some introspective stuff, some great editing with tracks on top of what he's doing. It surprises you. It makes you think. It's another one where there's just times at it where you go, I'm not even sure how to express my feelings for this, because you think, oh, he's being vulgar, and then you realize where he's going with it, or he does these double takes and these jokes within the jokes. And Bo Burnham, I think, is a truly special, talented guy. And just check out his Netflix specials. I probably have seen this. Probably one of the most stand-up specials I've seen the most times. I'll still go back to these specials and rewatch them, which I can't do with a lot of stand-up comedy, but I can definitely do with him. They're unique, they're special, they're funny. Bo Burnham, definitely check him out.
So, after that, my friend, I'm exhausted, but we got one more to go.
Almost there.
One more. And I got to tell you, it fits in because July 4th, it shows up. It's probably streaming right now as you see it. Stranger Things. By God. It is such a fabulous show. Every episode just makes me want to watch it. It's so addicting. You have, as I always screw her name up, Millie, right? Millie Bobby Brown.
Oh, that was perfect.
Oh, it was finally Millie Bobby Brown, Finn Wolfhard, Winona Ryder, David Harbour, brought to you by the Duffer Brothers. I know I'm forgetting somebody in this cast, probably almost all the rest of them, but it is an unbelievable ode to the '80s, an ode to the just like the Goonies. It's just a great cast by these kids, and they've developed so well. Caleb McLaughlin plays Lucas. Gadden Matarazzo plays Dustin. Steve has taken his own, as the coolest babysitter around. That was Joe Carey. The relationship that he's developed with Dustin is just awesome. Natalie Dreyer plays Nancy, Mike's sister. And I got to tell you, like I said, every episode is well written, well structured. And, last season, season 2, there was a kind of an issue with some people not liking the gap that they did whenever they took her to Chicago, 11 to Chicago. But you know what, though? It served its purpose, and who knows, they might want to do a spinoff later on, they said, with those characters if they ever so decide. But you couldn't ask for a better cast, better writing. I am so gobsmacked by this show. I've been waiting pins and needles, and I can't wait to go home and watch that tonight. So that'll be what I'll do. So what you got for me, boss man? Over there, Mr. Bartanian.
I'm gonna go with Narcos. That's my number one.
Yeah, that's who's in that, by the way. Is that Poe or
Michael Pena joins him later on. I don't know who's Narcos is though.
Yeah, I can't remember which one that was. Boom. I'm awful with the shows.
I didn't watch the last season, but I did watch I watched it hot and heavy at the beginning.
Okay. Well, no, that's wow. So there's your number one on that one, because I've not seen one of them. I've seen it in my queue. I sit there and I'm going to move on to the next series. But, now we got one more episode to go. There it is right there. Narcos Mexico. That's this new season, right? I believe, or the newer season. Or is there there's a couple Narcos going on that deal. But yeah, it's an unbelievable cast right there. So, there we go.
Who you got?
Yeah, Diego Luna. So who do you got?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please.
Oh, get those bongos a-blazing, buddy. Bongos a-blazing.
My number one for Netflix originals
Sabrina
is Daredevil. The OG Marvel show to come to Netflix, where everyone was wondering, Daredevil. I mean, Ben Affleck did a pretty A+ job, said me and no one else. But a lot of people were skeptical, and bam, did that throw them out of the water. Some of the best fight scenes you will ever see, whether it's TV or movies.
Oh, that prison scene.
The prison, multiple hallway scenes. I mean, come on.
Okay. The prison scene is what, like a 15-minute scene, or 10 to 15 minutes, shot straight. No cuts, just straight on straight. And that is, I'm with you. I watched that scene. I watched that scene more times than I've watched most of the episodes over and over again, because it's such
a spectacle.
It is unbelievable. One take fight scene. You don't see that shit. I'm excited about it. I'm excited, but they destroyed me like Netflix always does. But
here's where I think I'm keeping up hope, because we're getting that Marvel Disney app. And I think obviously right now they're going to stay quiet. They're going to introduce that thing. And at one of these Comic Cons or someday they're going to be like, hey guys, Daredevil season 4, Luke Cage season 3. Like they got to be bringing
this season.
If they own the rights, there's no reason why they wouldn't.
Well,
I think they're just letting a lull happen now, so that when they say it, we literally crap our britches and go, OMG, Daredevil's back.
You know what's funny is, I believe, because we're going to stay on the same vibe, but with Jessica Jones, Ritter said that she didn't want to ever play Jessica Jones ever again, and then she kind of recanted just recently. Oh no, I'd be up to it if I had to. So somebody probably said, "Hey, psst, hey,
shut up."
We might need you.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people were even clamoring maybe for these guys to pop up in Endgame or to be included in the Marvel universe because this is the Daredevil that we've always wanted to see on screen.
Charlie Cox is unbelievable.
Charlie Cox. I've always liked Eldon Henson too. I think he's a great friend as Foggy.
Yes.
What is it?
Wilson Fisk, Vincent.
Dude. Well, I was going to mention the girl from True Blood, but holy effing GOM.
We found our Wilson Fisk. We found our
Holy
Kingpin.
Vincent D'Onofrio, man. Oh my God. Oh, he is so good.
Yeah.
He is so good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you include the TV shows, maybe the best Marvel villain we've had.
I would have loved to. I would love to see him. I would love to see it just on the big screen.
Let him battle Spider-Man. Let's mix this shit. Let him battle Tom Holland in an upcoming movie. Put him on the big screen. Give him more to do. Vincent D'Onofrio, very inspired casting there. Yeah. You know what I mean? He said before he's a man boy who will do anything to get his way. And
if you watch the second season, it was missing something. Oh, I know who it was missing: Wilson Fisk. Because when the third season came out, I was so over the moon. And what's funny is the guy who was the showrunner at the time. I think he just signed something with Amazon Prime to run a show over there now. But the showrunner on this one, the last season, the third
check out that white suit, baby.
Yeah, the third season. Showrunner, he says, "Look, man, you could give me 10 episodes. I would rather have 10 episodes than 13 episodes. I would rather have 8 episodes, as long as the story is good and I needed what I needed. Don't restrain me, with the storytelling, because there's a lot of stop gaps. And if you watch season 3, as you've seen, there are no gaps in that story. The good thing they did was that Karen episode, in which we went back and found out what really makes Karen tick. And I think it was like the next to the last episode, I believe. It was I'm not sure which episode that was, either 10 or something. But
next to the last.
Yeah, it was the next to the last, and it was unbelievable. The Karen episode, she deserves a nod as well for Best Actress in a Drama. But will they do it? No, they probably won't, because that's just how they run it at the old Emmy show. But anyway,
Dutch, we're not gonna get nominated if we keep shit talking the Emmys.
I'm always gonna shit talk the Emmys. They make no sense. Their rules make no sense. That stunt scene is not even going to be counted because it was over their allotted scheduled time for a stunt. Yeah, it was actually going to be nominated, but then they said, "Oh no, we can't because it's over our allotted scheduled time for a stunt."
Jerks!
Yeah,
screw you, Emmys. I don't want your nomination.
Was Vincent in Full Metal Jacket?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
Men in Black.
Yeah, remember he was like, "I am in a world of shit."
Wow.
Yeah. So there he is, right there. Pretty puts a bullet in an arm. Was it your dude? The drill sergeant guy.
Arlie Army,
yeah, and then he puts a couple bullets in his chest, and then he puts a gun and puts it in his melon. It's a great, powerful film.
I haven't seen it. Spoiler warning.
Matthew Modine.
Fabulous movie.
You just spoiled it.
It's a Kubrick film, I believe, right?
It
it's one of the very few Kubrick films that I really enjoyed.
I think it's weird. It's like in 2 parts. It went from the training camp, and then they
go
out.
With Matthew Modine. It focuses on him most of the time. Yeah. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We had our top 10 Netflix shows. We want to do this again at another day. We might do Prime. We might do Hulu. Okay, we might do Prime.
I would rather do Hulu than Prime. I don't got much for Prime.
Prime is building. It's building. It's a slow build.
This will hook me up.
It's a slow burn.
Yeah.
But it's a slow burn. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the Netflix 4th of July special, and I want you all and I want you all to be safe, party well, and
if you drink, don't drive, and if you drive, don't say we allowed it.
Yes, and also don't forget AAA does have a rider. They'll tow your car for free.
Quit telling them what to do. Let them do what they want to do.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Or if they're cute, they can call me.
Yeah, but you
you have a woman.
he's
I'm looking
just
for a
gonna be
man.
the Uber drive.
Hey.
He's just looking for the Uber drive. That's all. He's an Uber driver. But yeah, so I'm gonna wish you all the greatest of 4th of July's on behalf of myself and our team who work really hard.
JPO coming to you live from Naples, Florida.
We work very hard here, as you can see.
So hard.
And so I wish you all the best safeness. And don't forget, Tom Holland's coming out with an independent film about Spider-Man, I believe.
Spider-Man from home. He's not quite home. He's
And
got a
by the time,
from
it is, like I said, it's been out for a couple days now. It's July 4th. We're all happy. And so...
Changes and hoes gonna pay Mysterio.
Yeah, thank God. So anyway,
Daylight come and I want to go home.
can we like
Day-o.
sign off? Let's sign
It's
off
a
like
day-o.
humans. Let's sign off.
I am JPO saying good night.
And that's the D-Dizzle on the big drums.
Dizzle's on the drum saying good night.
Good night, everybody. Tally my banana.